There are certain filmmakers, when you look at their body of work, you realize that up until the point they make their magnum opus, everything before that is a preparation for that particular point. Hi, I am Gautam Chintamani, this is Cinemazi Studio, and today we are talking about a filmmaker who's celebrated, respected, who's popular, but often not counted amongst the best when it comes to all-time greats of Hindi films. The reason for this is that he was a much bigger star than he was a filmmaker. I am talking about none other than Manoj Kumar. One of the biggest stars of the 60s and 70s, Manoj Kumar was also a filmmaker whose prowess as a storyteller was visible from the first time he helmed a shot. If you see Shaheed, it's a film that he ghost directed. If you see Upkar, which is the first credited film as a filmmaker to Manoj Kumar, you understand the power that Manoj Kumar had as a storyteller. You look at Purab or Pachchim, you look at Shore, but when it comes to Manoj Kumar, the filmmaker, all these elements come together in the high point of his life as a filmmaker in Kranti. Post Kranti, Manoj Kumar's filmography as a filmmaker is completely disastrous. I have one word to give you an idea why I say so. Clark.
दुख हुआ ना?
नहीं नहीं मैडम, इस चप्पल ने धोखा दे दिया। इसमें मोरी है।
लंच का तो वो सोचे जिसके पास खाने के लिए लंच हो, यानी कि खाना।
In this episode, we are going to look at Kranti that celebrates 40 years this year, and we are also going to look at Manoj Kumar, the filmmaker, up until Kranti, and why Kranti remains one of the biggest spectacles ever in Hindi films. So let's take this trip down memory lane and relive some of the best moments in Manoj Kumar's filmmaking career. Akira Kurosawa once famously said that Kagemusha, his period drama, was nothing but a dress rehearsal for his magnum opus Ran. This is something which can also describe the mood behind Kranti. Kranti is a film which has all Manoj Kumar elements. It's larger than life. It's a well-mounted production. It has got some of the best-known faces of the era, some of the best technicians of the era, but also the elements that make Manoj Kumar films. Patriotism.
मां की सौगन, क्रांति की पावन मशाल को छूने वाले गंदे और घिनौने हाथों को मैं खत्म करूं।
Honor.
मैं पूछता हूं किस पर चलेगा ये आया हुआ बारूद? किस पर चलेगा? किस पर चलेगा ये अंग्रेजी बारूद?
And heroes who do the right thing no matter what.
महारानी झांसी ने कहा था, अपनी लाशों से हम तारीख को आबाद रखें, वो लड़ाई हो कि अंग्रेज जिसे याद रखे।
So be it Upkar, be it Shaheed, be it Purab or Pachchim, or even Roti Kapda or Makan, you see all these elements are common for across Manoj Kumar's body of work as a filmmaker.
पूरन इस माटी में हमारी मां के आंसू मिले हुए हैं। इसमें हमारे बुजुर्गों का खून पसीना मिला हुआ है। पूरन।
Kranti is also an important film because it marked the comeback of Dilip Kumar after a 5-year break.
वो तोपें चलेंगी तो चारों तरफ बारूद ही बारूद बरसेगा।
तोपों को खामोश करना मैंने आप ही से सीखा है।
It's also a rare instance where the script was written by Salim Javed.
हम दोनों उसी सरदार सांगा के बेटे हैं।
ये सच है। मुझे भीमा की पत्नी ने बताया। वरना
But perhaps a lot of people don't know that. They automatically assume that it was a Manoj Kumar story. But Manoj Kumar rewrote a lot of the material that was supplied by Salim Javed. So the story and screenplay is credited to Salim Javed, and the dialogues are credited to Manoj Kumar. But unofficially, Manoj Kumar changed a lot of things, and it's not a Salim Javed film anymore in that aspect of speaking. Born Hari Kishan Goswami, Manoj Kumar took his screen name thanks to a character played by his idol Dilip Saab in a film.
मेरे लिए मत रो, मैं तो अब अच्छी हूँ बंजारी।
अगर तुम अच्छी होती तो मुझे बंजारा न कहती। मैं मनोज हूँ, तुम्हारा मनोज शांति।
They had worked together in a film called Aadmi in the late 60s. but it is Kranti which pits these two almost on equal footing.
क्रांति के सिपाही के दिए हुए वचन भी अटल है।
कौन सा वचन, कैसा वचन?
वो वचन जो मैंने सेनापति शक्ति की मां को दिया।
The story of Kranti is the story of Sanga, a sea pirate who intercepts the British ships that bring arms and ammunition to suppress Indians, and he fights them that way. It is also the story of Bharat, who is a young man who considers Sanga to be his idol, and he grows up fighting the British. It has Hema Malini playing Meenakshi, a princess of a state who decides to join the freedom fighters. There is Parveen Babi in the film who plays a rustic village girl. And there is a character, wonderful character called Karim Khan, played by Shatrughan Sinha, who's supposed to be the military aide of Rani Jhansi and then joins forces with Bharat. The film also has Shakti Singh, who's a commander of a princely state who initially is fighting Bharat but then later joins. There are other colorful characters in the film, and one of my favorite characters is Prem Chopra, who plays this guy called Shambhu. He has a great one-liner, Shambhu ka dimag, yani do dhari talwar.
आप तो अच्छी तरह से जानते हैं सर थॉमस कि शंभू का दिमाग दो धारी तलवार है।
The film is a spectacle. It has got some fantastic set pieces. It has great music by Lakshmikant Pyarelal. It has lyrics by Santosh Anand and Manoj Kumar. But Kranti is also one of the last films of the old Hindi cinema style, the popular Hindi films. So if you see the phases of Hindi films, the golden era of Hindi films, which starts, say, at the beginning of the 1950s and continues up until the end of the 1970s, Kranti is a film which officially ends that larger than life kind of filmmaking. Because after that, films, because of the advent of video and the access that audiences had to foreign cinema, many people stopped going back to cinema halls, and also the arrival of an entirely new generation of filmmakers, be it the young Turks, Subhash Ghai, Rahul Ravel, JP Datta, and the art house guys like Sai Paranjpai, Saeed Akhtar Mirza, Govind Nilani coming into his own, Kundan Shah, Vidhu Vinod Chopra, Mansoor Khan. So all these things changed Hindi cinema, the way Hindi cinema was looked at by the industry itself. Of course, for a long time, the audiences and the critics would not look at Hindi cinema as Bollywood. You know, that happened largely post 1995 with the success of Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. But prior to that almost a decade and a half period, or rather let's just say almost a decade, up until Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak and Maine Pyar Kiya comes, and then they change the way popular cinema is mounted, because the audiences again start going back to the cinema halls, the family entertainers make a comeback, and the action films were going through a change. So this period between 1980-81 up until 1988 is what is perhaps the worst phase of Hindi films in so far as the narrative of popular Hindi films go. As a filmmaker, Manoj Kumar is one of the few actors who always played the lead in his own films, and even the narrative is almost tilted to favor him. But that's also because of the fact that he was one of the most popular stars. Post 1969, with the arrival of Rajesh Khanna, and up until 1973, when the Rajesh Khanna juggernaut was at its peak, it was only Dev Anand, Dharmendra and Manoj Kumar who could withstand that kind of competition. And even in that aspect, the huge hits that Manoj Kumar had in this phase, be it Purab aur Paschim, Shor, Roti Kapda aur Makan, and the films that he didn't direct but acted, Sanyasi and Das Numbri.
क्या बच गई तेरी सीटी? और अब ये देख, रानी, दामाल निकाल, एक पे तीन.
मैंने कब तेरा दाव माना?
He was one of the biggest stars of that period, and he was never a hurried filmmaker if you see that way. The difference, the time span between the films that he directed was fairly averaging out to 3 to 4 years. Interestingly, Kranti is also the 5th film that Manoj Kumar directed. Now, there is a theory that does the rounds when it comes to film fans and cinema buffs, is that is it the 3rd film of a filmmaker that defines their work, or is it the 5th film? So if you see a filmmaker like Martin Scorsese, then his 5th film is Taxi Driver, and closer home if you see Vijay Anand, although Vijay Anand's 5th film is Teesri Manzil, the credited 5th film, but if you include Hum Dono, which to a large extent he was the one who directed that film, then Guide becomes Goldie Anand's 5th film. In that same aspect, Kranti is the 5th film that Manoj Kumar directed, and it's perhaps the final hurrah that Manoj Kumar as a filmmaker had. Manoj Kumar did not direct a film up until the late 1980s when he made what is now a cult classic and brings great joy and laughter to people when they watch it on YouTube, Clark. It's a film which was stuck in some kind of a time warp, because in that film Manoj Kumar, who was well in his 50s or early 60s, was playing a college student. That's not going to work. It's also a film where Shashi Kapoor and Manoj Kumar were shown as contemporaries and people just out of college, and the tropes were atrocious in the film.
दिल की बीमारी क्या हुआ? अचानक दर्द उठा सीने। मैं आते हुए बैठी के सर ले आया। इस छोटे से टेप रिकॉर्डर में जो आजाद हिंद फौज का गीत है ना, वो बजेगा। जिंदगी है कौम की तो कौम पे। पिताजी, गीत बंद क्यों कर दिया?
इसलिए बेटा, अब मैं ठीक हो गया हूँ।
Perhaps that is what happens to filmmakers who become larger than life, who become somewhat bigger than the medium itself. Unless you interact with younger people, or unless you have a constant exchange of ideas with people who are making cinema for the audiences which is consuming them at that point, you tend to lose your touch with the audience. This is what happened with Manoj Kumar. This is what happened with Feroz Khan to a great extent, because if you see up until Yalgar, you can still allow Feroz Khan some leeway, because even in Yalgar, it's very strange to see Mukesh Khanna playing Feroz Khan's father.
Dad, उस हरामजादे सिंघाल की ये हिम्मत। फूलों पर शक नहीं किया करते राजेश। डैड, आपका दौर और था जब फूल अकीदत और मोहब्बत का पैगाम हुआ करते थे। आज के दौर में फूल मौत का पैगाम होते हैं।
And immediately after that, when you see films like Premagan or Janashi, you see that here is a filmmaker who's still operating in the 70s but trying to make films for an audience which is in the early 2000s. That is not going to work. And perhaps this is the reason why you see Manoj Kumar's filmography also. Some of the films become irrelevant with the passage of time. So if you see a film like Shore today, even though Shore tugs at the emotional strings, unlike a lot of films from that era, it's not aged that well. So if you see Anand or if you see Millie, you still understand the pain of the character. But whereas in Shore, something just misses the mark. Is it because the filmmaker is operating less on the story and more on the universe that they create? Are they consuming their own beliefs? Perhaps this is the reason why Shore misses a few beats if you watch the film now. And that is something that ails Kranti as well. It's a film you can still enjoy. It's a film that you can still sit and watch, and largely you enjoy certain set pieces in the film and you enjoy these actors. So if you're a Dilip Kumar fan or if you're a Shatrughan Sinha fan, these are films that still could work for you. But on a whole, if you look at the sum of all the parts, then the film somewhere falls short. Perhaps this is the reason why it's not as readily recalled as films that came around the same period. Something similar happened with Roti, Kapda aur Makan and Purab aur Paschim. Now these films were huge. They were monstrous hits when they first came out. But again, they seem a little dated as compared to some other films which explore the same themes. Everything about Kranti is straight out of a great comic or a book of great legends or fables. And perhaps that is why the storytelling element really stands out.
सेनापति, जब जन्म देने वाली मां पास ना हो ना, तब ये धरती मां आंसू तो आंसू खून का बहना भी बंद कर देती है.
Do watch the film if you haven't seen it, and especially for the younger generation today, because there is a lot that you can learn or you can see in Manoj Kumar's cinema, which is a dying art or is already dead. The kind of framing that Manoj Kumar had, the kind of blocking that even in a film like Clark, some of the shots, some of the choreography of the shots is something that makes you wonder that for a mind that could come up with these kind of things as far as the technical aspect of filmmaking went, why is it that that person never really took any interest in what was actually happening in the world, considering that once upon a time with films like Purab aur Paschim, Roti Kapda aur Makan, he captured the mood of the Aam Janta, so much so that a song like Mehengai Maar Gayi in Roti Kapda aur Makan actually made the government sit up and take notice that people are understanding what is happening around them, and it would be very difficult to convince them otherwise. Now, with that kind of a hold and that kind of understanding of the zeitgeist, it is a little sad that Manoj Kumar did not make films which matched that brilliance post Kranti. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Cinemazi Studio. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our videos and click on the bell icon so that you know next time we put up a video. Thanks for watching.